I think Abbott's like, if you make it to 120, I'll skydive with you.
Yes, I know. But successful
That's
jump.
amazing.
It is amazing. I don't want to do that, but it's amazing for him.
So I said, if I live to 40, I'll skydive.
Yep.
Yeah, and we did this.
Hey, that was something.
If you haven't seen that was in our Adrenaline Texas episode. My mom was 70, I was 40, and we skydived together, and it was absolutely incredible.
It was amazing to watch.
Yeah, you were on the ground though. You won't do it?
No, that's not. I don't have any itch to do that. There may be some things that I change my mind about in life, and that's okay.
Sure.
It can keep you humble and live a fun life. But skydiving, that just seems terrifying. And even if I did, and I probably would make it safe, I'd probably say I never want to do that again. Like,
yeah, but you would say this, I'm glad I did it.
Would I?
You would. You say, I'm glad I did it. I never want to do it again. And that's okay.
So do you want to do it again?
No.
Yeah.
I don't have that desire.
That's true.
I went 2 times back to back because we had to film different angles.
Yes.
That if you'd given me time between the two, I might have chickened out for the second one.
Oh, wow.
But because it is heart-stopping, but it is fun.
Oh,
I think if the right circumstances came about, if one of my kids wants to skydive with me, I'll go do it. Like if one of our kids turns 18 and they're like, my whole dream is to do this, I'll say I'm in. I'll do it.
This is a lot for me right now.
Well, howdy, y'all. It is February. You're listening to the Daytripper podcast. We're changing things up, though, today. I, of course, am Chet Garner, your host, but we got a new co-host on the leather couch. You don't look like Daniel. You're a lot prettier than Daniel.
That's sweet. Daniel, you're beautiful.
In your own way, Daniel. Daniel, we miss you. No, this is my bride, Laura. She's going to be joining us on the show. She actually is a location scout for the Daytripper. She is a co-owner in Hoggaboom Road Inc. Productions. And so this is her first podcast ever to record. Am I right?
I didn't even know you had a podcast until you asked.
It's kind of true.
Well,
what's your favorite episode of the podcast?
So there's a lot of good ones. No, I'm honored. I'm so excited to be here.
Yeah.
I will never fill Daniel's shoes here, but I'm going to do the best I can.
Yeah.
But,
Daniel, we miss you. Yeah. Daniel's actually finishing new episodes at home right now. So he is pulling the weight of the show so that we can do a podcast.
Awesome.
And this is in classic Chet fashion. I'm calling myself out on this. When did I ask you to do this?
That would be this morning.
Yep.
Yes.
Just a couple hours ago.
In the middle of birthday cake baking, I was like, as long as I can get the cake out of the oven, I think I can make it.
We're going to do that. So anyway, thank you for joining me. It is good. It is going to be so good. Laura is, this is sort of like baptism by fire because she's not a listener to the podcast, has no idea. I told her find a news story and the rest, she's just freestyling. That's why I love her so much. She just goes right into the furnace with me.
Yeah.
It's like Jesus. All right. So, reminder right off the top, like, subscribe, do all the things that help this podcast grow. We are putting this up on YouTube. So if you would subscribe to our channel, that'd be awesome. Leave a comment. Let us know what your favorite podcast is. Because my wife has no idea. All right. So, but let's thank our sponsor. So, Laura, did you know that in Collin County, it was the home base of everyone's favorite purple dinosaur television show?
Oh, I do know what you're talking about, but I did not know that was Collin.
Barney was filmed in Collin County.
So that's our sponsor?
That we're sponsored by Barney. Rest in peace. Our kids, we've had a lot of kids into Barney.
Well, we have. I think that's because of like maybe YouTube. You can like look up things. But one of my cousins was definitely into Barney. And fun fact, my grandma, she dressed up as Barney the purple dinosaur for one of his birthdays. It was probably like
it was shout out to Garrett Smith.
Yes.
Care Bear. Oh, that's awesome. So a lot of people don't know Barney is a Texan dinosaur.
Okay.
He's a Texan dinosaur filmed in Collin County. Over 100 different child actors appeared in the series over its run. Can you name the famous ones?
I can name some.
All right, go.
Selena Gomez.
Yes, very good. There's another very famous one.
Selena Gomez's sister. I'm not sure.
Felina Gomez. No, Demi Lovato.
Oh.
Demi Lovato, Barney alumni. I went and looked, and Debbie Ryan, another Barney alumni. That's, hey, Jesse. Hey, she. And then I looked, it's got a long list of child actors who got their start on Barney.
Yeah.
Many of them seem to have gone straight into like the Disney sitcom machine.
That makes sense.
Yeah. And so, anyway, Barney, your favorite purple dinosaur, is one of the many things that is featured this month at the Collin County History Museum in McKinney. We've talked about it every month. They're doing their Created in Collin County exhibit featuring all things wonderful, entertainers, athletes, products, businesses, innovation that has its home in Collin County. So Barney is one of them. The museum is free. It's open Thursdays, Fridays, and Saturdays from 10 to 4. Y'all check out CollinCountyHistoryMuseum.com for more information. /McKinney is fun. That's pretty cool, though.
Yeah, that is.
That segues beautifully into what I want to talk about because this is the first ever time we have Barney in one of our episodes. Like the purple dinosaur, not the purple dinosaur himself, but Barney is in the Daytripper coming up.
That's
all
exciting.
Right. So here's what I want to chat with y'all. We have new episodes coming out in February.
Big deal.
And I'll start with the Barney episode. So we went to this little town called Canadian. It's in the northeast corner of the Panhandle. Anyway, we have 3 episodes. We got let's run through them: Giddings, Canadian, and Centerville. So make sure that y'all are tuned in on PBS. We'll also be launching them on YouTube. Make sure you don't miss them. There's some really good ones. But Barney makes an appearance because when you drive into Canadian, it's super strange, but you're in the middle of this like kind of mesas and plateaus area. And then on the top of one of these mesas is this giant green dinosaur. It's the most bizarre thing.
That's not Barney.
That's not Barney.
Okay.
So that was made by a artist named Gene Cockrell. Gene was like the patron art saint of Canadian. He's passed now, but he left this dinosaur on the hilltop because he wanted the kids coming back from away games to be able to know when they were close to home.
Oh.
So they could see the green dinosaur. We're just almost there. It's just a couple miles outside of town. And you can go to his yard, and that's where he has the most insane collection of, I think they're like paper mache, sort of. But you've got Barney and Jesus and some Indians and some aliens and some 3-headed weird animals.
That's so random.
It's random. It's the kind of thing I could see myself doing when I'm old and crusty, especially if you die, Laura. That's the kind of life I'm going to live.
That's special. I mean, to get into paper mache, I don't know
if it's paper mache. It's more like chicken wire. It's something that's getting rained on and it's totally doing good. But Canadian's this strange artistic town. It's a haven. There's this awesome museum we went to called the Citadel, and I've told you about it, but it's an old Baptist church that a family moved into, and the family started collecting art. And so now they've moved out and they've turned this whole thing into a museum, but it's this old Baptist church. The sanctuary is full of, the most random art you've ever seen, but it's like a Norman Rockwell, a Leyendecker, like it just explodes.
Yeah.
All kinds of different things. They lived in an art museum, and now it's actual museum.
That's fascinating.
It's super cool. And then in Canadian, the coolest thing we've ever done on the Daytripper, we did target practice hanging out of the side of a helicopter. You knew I was doing that.
Of course.
Did that make you nervous?
It did not.
It did. Okay.
No, it really
I was
didn't.
nervous.
There's so many people that are around you that are like, that's what they do. I feel like they've got you.
They got.
You know.
I thought we would I didn't tell you this. I thought we were going to be like harnessed in
No.
No, we were not,
Okay.
Laura. It was like a basic seatbelt, like the exact same seatbelt you set on the way here. That was it. And I was hanging completely out with all the slack out the side of a helicopter.
I mean, how else can you prepare for a zombie apocalypse? You have to do things like this.
I'm so glad you see it that way.
Yes, live life on the
So
edge.
now you know that in a zombie apocalypse, I can protect our family.
I am so proud of you. So proud.
Thanks.
So proud.
Well, hey, as long as you're on the helicopter with me, we're
Yep.
going to be fine. We're going to be fine. We got to find a helicopter, though. All right. The other episode, this will actually be the first episode we air of the season, of this little block in February, the Giddings episode. Giddings is this little town between Austin and Houston. You would drive through it 100 times. We've driven through it 1,000,000 times.
Oh, yeah.
And it's just one of those that you drive through in a blink and you don't think there's anything there. But as soon as you start digging, you find different things.
There always is. Sometimes you
Yeah.
have to dig a little harder or ask some people that maybe lived there or around there, but it's there.
It's there. You just got
Yeah.
you got to kind of look. And so one of the things we went to was City Market, which is this old as dirt barbecue joint on the corner.
Yep.
What I love so much about it is it hasn't changed. I mean, you know this because we eat a lot of barbecue.
We do.
Barbecue everyone is trying to chase this standard of a barbecue. And so what's happening is it's all kind of tasting the same. Like brisket has become so good that it's amazing at a lot of places,
True.
right? This one doesn't care. They're like,
So what are you really saying?
yeah, well, here's what I'm saying. I'm saying it's beautiful because they are trapped in time and they're not chasing the internet standard for what brisket should be. They're serving us the same brisket they served our grandpa.
Well, it stood the test of time. So apparently it's working. It has a great location.
Yeah.
And people are coming back, right?
Yeah, exactly. I did call my girlfriend there for lunch, though. I'm just going to be honest with you. And I brought a picture of her right here.
Oh, okay.
She met me for lunch, and I'm sorry.
She is precious. And I know who that is.
If you're watching on the video, I just pulled out a picture of me with Miss Tootsie, who is one of the sweetest ladies in Texas. And at 88 years old, she is still the pit boss at Snow's Barbecue.
She's kind of the one you really want to be your grandma. Or if she's not your grandma,
is.
you want her to be your aunt. Like,
Yeah.
she's so
She
lovable.
is so and she is so genuine, and she's actually still the janitor at Giddings High School.
Wow.
At 88. She
That's
broke away to come have lunch with us.
Aw.
Because they were like, the school was so excited you were in town, they let me play hooky. I was like, all right.
great.
That's so good. Yeah.
That is awesome.
Miss Tootsie's awesome though. So we had lunch with her. She said some really controversial things about people who use pellet grills.
I'm sure she has some
She's
things
got some
to say.
opinions. I love her for that reason. She doesn't hold anything
Wait,
back.
you might know someone who has a... No, you don't?
I did not tell Miss Tootsie that I actually use a pellet smoker. I don't have time to sit down. Okay.
Are we going there?
Yes. Would you want a stick burning man? Like, it sounds great, but Laura, that means like all Saturday, I'm going to be watching a fire in the backyard, and you're going to be, I don't know, doing like raising children. I'll be raising a brisket.
I see commitment. I see patience.
Oh.
Maybe there's things to learn through the process.
Are you just giving me permission to go
I think
buy an offset smoker?
I think you should try it. I don't think it should be in a lifestyle where you're doing this every weekend, but I mean, there could be something to learn through it.
Okay. As long as you're all right with me, like not being present, I'm going to be in the backyard, sitting in a lawn chair, babysitting a fire all day.
I mean, I think you should try it. I'm here for it.
You'll be out of the house, and that would be nice. All right, we'll move on.
I did not say
Yeah, I
that.
know. So that's Giddings. Centerville, that is a town that is like right center of I-45 between Dallas and Houston. And it was a great little town. We ate some more barbecue. We picked blackberries, which that was wonderful. And then we went to the Leona General Store, which is this amazing steak place. I've never in my life been to a steak place like this. They have steak night on Friday and Saturday night, And before they open the door, the line is hundreds of people long down the sidewalk. Well, there's no sidewalk, down the porch and into the parking lot, waiting to get in. And it's amazing because you get in. The only question they ask you is, how big do you want your steak? You don't pick your sides. You don't even pick the kind of steak you're eating. You get a ribeye. Everyone gets a ribeye. It's like the Oprah, you get a ribeye, you get a ribeye, that's it. And so it starts at 10 ounces. The biggest, some guy ate a 96-ounce steak.
Oh, whoa.
Which is absolutely stupid. And then, but it's wonderful. It's like, I've never been to another place like it. And you've actually never been. But
do they just serve it until it runs out? Is that how that works?
I think they've got so many, they're hand cutting everything in the back. I think they've got like enough to make it through. I'm sure they've run out before.
Yeah.
But
I mean, we've been to barbecue joints where we showed up a little late and it's like, we have bologna. And you're like, yay.
so
like,
true. Okay, I guess we're coming back.
For the bologna.
That, no lie, we like smoked bologna. So that is the episode that's coming out. I hope you'll love them. We've had a blast making them.
Yeah.
Daniel is still making one right now as we speak. So we're finishing them up.
There's so much to explore. So I'm so glad that you give the audience just so many suggestions, So
Yeah. Well,
I'll do
thank
a
you.
great job.
Thank you. It's a lot of time away from home on the back roads with Daniel so that we can do this. So thank you. That is not going unnoticed. All right. So this is a segment that I do with Daniel where I say, hey, what have you been up to? And so I'm going to ask you that and pretend like we weren't together all January. What have you been up to?
Oh, hey. Well, I mean, do you do is this like a month? I should know.
It's a month. So like it's February.
Yeah.
Look back at January and reminisce on how much you love your husband.
Oh, I do love my husband. I really do. We sure did have a really big kickoff in January. So whereas some people might be, popping firecrackers, Happy New Year, 2024, here we come. We actually went to bed early that night.
Because maybe 9:30.
We were waking up before sunrise and making the long haul. We did leave Texas. We drove to Colorado and we took our family snow skiing.
Yes. In Granby, Colorado.
Granby Ranch, Colorado. So that's right outside of Winter Park. Of course, you were there, but I think we made some great memories. We got to meet some family and friends up there. The weather was pretty good. It wasn't extremely cold. We could have used a little more snow. On the mountain,
yeah. Colorado hadn't gotten dumped on. At the end of January, they got hammered. But at that time,
which was
great.
That's actually so. To get to the ski mountain, you have to just wind up the mountain, right? You're just driving and driving. And the kids saw these road signs, which we don't see in Texas. Well, we see falling rocks. That's a real thing.
Yeah, that is.
But these said, warning avalanche.
Yeah, right.
And our kids were terrified. The sun was out. It was a pretty day. But man, they were just looking around like,
do they hit the road? Do we see? It's like, they were.
Yeah, so we did not have any avalanches while we were there, but the week after, our brother-in-law, shout out to Jacob Walker. Hey, Jacob.
Yep.
He sent us this news story that said there were legit avalanches with all the extreme snow and weather. So
if we'd stayed there another week, we would have been stuck.
Snowed in.
Oh,
wow.
It wouldn't have been bad.
Never.
Colorado's just old Texas, though. That's what we tell our kids. We're going to old Texas.
They do know that. That's kind of hilarious. Like, we're going to Colorado? Oh, you just mean old Texas,
Old
right?
Texas. Yeah, it's just old Texas. But it was great until Ren broke her arm.
Yes.
So we had our 13-year-old who was taking to snowboarding like a fish takes to water. She was so good at it. Last run on the first day.
Yep. And she had fallen 100 times just because that's what you do, right? When you learn a new sport, you're going to fall. But she got back up. And but the last fall, man.
You were with her.
I was with her.
And I was cruising down and I saw Snow Patrol fly past me. And I'm like,
yep.
Okay, well, hope that's not us. It was us.
It was us.
Oh.
So sweet Rennie Pot Pie, she fell on her left arm and she broke her radius, and it was a pretty yucky break. So
basketball season was over.
I know, and that was hard to say.
I've gotten really good at trash bagging her arm with tape in a trash bag though, for her to bathe.
Yeah.
I mean, I've got some new skills.
Yeah, the parenting thing, it just never gets. I mean, we're never bored, right?
Oh, gosh, no.
It's like, okay, how do we keep your arm from not getting wet or all those things?
Yeah.
She's a champ.
She's a champ.
Yeah, that's kind of something we've been. So she's supposed to get a soft cast next week.
Yeah, she's going to finally be out of the cast. Shepherd, 4-year-old.
Yep.
What are your thoughts on him?
Ooh, okay. He has the need for speed.
The kid was a maniac. Laura? You just let him, you put him at the top of the mountain, put his skis straight, and let him go. He would be going 70 miles by the bottom of that mountain, and he would have loved it.
Yes. And it's terrifying, right? Because, like, you have to teach them how to stop. And we would try, and he was, like, pushing our poles away. Like, we have video of this,
I don't want to stop. Get out.
Like,
yeah.
And you'll
I want to go
he's
fast.
wearing a helmet, and he's low to the ground, but it's like.
He's a baby Ricky Bobby. I want to go fast.
There was a point where he kind of got out of my reach, and I kind of did a dive and sacrificed my fall, and I stopped him. And let me just tell you, he looked at me. He was like, "You knocked off my skis."
Yeah.
I said, "Yep."
Yep. Because you were gonna die. He was gonna go off a mountain, Laura. We gotta settle that boy.
We had a good time. It was a good time.
It was fun. It was a blast.
Some snot, some breaks, lots of hot cocoa.
Yeah, lots of hot cocoa. Skiing, snow. Like, I love Texas. Texas is wonderful. Obviously, it's home.
Yeah.
But there's some things you can't do in Texas. You have to go to Old Texas.
Yeah.
So we take every opportunity to go to Old Texas.
Nice.
And anyway, we got to do it.
Yeah.
All right, so let's move on into the Meanwhile in Texas segment.
Oh.
All right.
While you've been listening to this podcast, lots of stuff's been going on in the Lone Star State. This is Meanwhile in Texas.
So this is where we bring a news story of something crazy that we found in the Lone Star State. This is like the only thing I asked you to do. I'm curious what you found, other than show up and smile, which will charm anybody.
Oh, well, you're very kind. Let's see. So lots of things happening, but I did discover a story about a gentleman who is not 100 years old. He's not 103 years old, but he is 106 years old.
Wow.
And just living to that is amazing.
Yeah.
But the story is about him skydiving. He now has the record. Yep. His name is Al Blaschke. That sounds awesome.
Sounds good enough to me.
Sweet Al.
Wait, so skydives at 106.
106. Yes. This guy I don't know why. I mean, I don't know.
When you're 106, you just take every opportunity you can to die so the good Lord will call you home. Because if it's not happening naturally, you just gotta put it out there. Yeah.
Be ready.
Yeah.
So a fun part of this story, he did this when he was 103, and he did the skydiving, clearly successful dive, tandem, and he lived and he kept living, and there was a lady that beat his record at 104.
Oh.
And maybe Al's a little competitive, right?
You think?
Yeah. So what happened is, our Governor Abbott met him about a year prior, and they basically made a bet. They were like, "All right, if you get to 104, I'll skydive with you." And so guess what? I think Abbott was counting David. Like, he was sweating it out, like, right? He's like, surely not. And surely he's like, this is good. No, he made it to 106, right? And so they both tandem skydive. And this was Governor Abbott's first time to skydive.
Wow.
I know.
He had to have been freaked out.
I
think Abbott's like, if you make it to 120, I'll skydive with you.
Yes, I know. But successful
That's
jump.
amazing.
It is amazing. I don't want to do that, but it's amazing for him.
So I said, if I live to 40, I'll skydive.
Yep.
Yeah, and we did this.
Hey, that was something.
If you haven't seen that was in our Adrenaline Texas episode. My mom was 70, was 40, and we skydived together, and it was absolutely incredible.
It was amazing to watch.
Yeah, you were on the ground though. You won't do it?
No, that's not. I don't have any itch to do that. There may be some things that I change my mind about in life, and that's okay.
Sure.
It can keep you humble and live a fun life. But skydiving, that just seems terrifying. And even if I did, and I probably would make it safe, I'd probably say I never want to do that again. Like,
yeah, but you would say this, I'm glad I did it.
Would I?
You would. You say, I'm glad I did it. I never want to do it again. And that's okay.
So do you want to do it again?
No.
Yeah.
I don't have that desire.
That's true.
I went 2 times back to back because we had to film different angles.
Yes.
That, if you'd given me time between the 2, I might have chickened out for the second one.
Oh, wow.
But because it is heart-stopping, but it is fun.
Oh, goodness.
I think if the right circumstances came about, if one of my kids wants to skydive with me, I'll go do it. Like if one of our kids turns 18 and they're like, my whole dream is to do this, I'll say I'm in. I'll do it.
This is a lot for me right now. To process that. Well, let's just watch. Let's watch and see.
One of your kids, probably Shepherd, looks at you with puppy dog eyes and says, Mom, it is my only wish when I turn 18 to skydive with you. You can't say no.
I just think I could say no.
Test me. I think I could. Oh, man. Okay. That's amazing.
I feel judged. I'm sorry. I don't know. I just don't want to do it. Okay.
That's fine. Not everybody. Like, you're probably more than 50% of the population doesn't want to do it.
Yeah.
I bet 40% wants to, but never will, and 10% actually doesn't. I mean, I'd guess.
I don't want to play like this or that, but I feel like we could get into like this or that, like skydiving or like a pit of snakes slither over you. Like for a certain amount of time.
Skydiving or cage diving with sharks, like snorkeling, where it's just at the surface, but there's great white sharks everywhere.
Okay. How long do I have to stay in the cage?
I mean, you've paid money, so like you're on the surface. You're not scuba gear. 20 minutes.
Am I with a trained professional?
Yeah, there's a guy. I mean, it's a professional operation.
I have more questions, but for the sake of the podcast, I'm going to answer Shark Tank.
Shark Tank over. Okay. All right.
Okay.
I learn more about my wife every day. Yeah. Here we go. Okay, let's jump on. So my story, it's about things falling out of the sky, but not in a good way.
Ooh.
And I also have a hard to pronounce name, but Piotr Halas.
One more time.
Piotr. He's Polish. Someone please call here, correct us on this. Leave a comment.
Aww.
All right, so he's Polish. He is doing a balloon race across Texas. Okay, hot air balloon racing. So a lot of people just think of hot air balloons. You go up, you look around, you come down, but there is a whole nother world of people who race these things, and they go fast. And there is some art to it I don't understand, because you're just floating in the air, but you ride the breezes and the currents of the air. Well, things don't go well south of Dallas. All of a sudden, the balloon starts to go down. I don't know if there's a tear.
Yikes.
I don't know what happens, but it's losing air. It's losing altitude. Things are going. I mean, there's a big giant fire. This balloon crashes. Our poor Pajota is stuck in a balloon that all of a sudden gets engulfed with flames.
Oh, my goodness.
And he crashes. He is badly burned, broken legs, gets brought to the hospital. The priest reads him his last rites. And Piotr pulls through. He's alive.
What?
I wouldn't be reading this story if he died. That would just be tragic. He spends 52 days in the hospital, pulls through, and is now going back to Poland. I thought, what a comeback story.
That he's a fighter.
What if you get read your last rites? Like if you're aware when the priest is reading you your last rites, that should motivate you. Like, I'm coming back, baby.
But what does that mean exactly? What are your last rites?
I mean, it's just like a blessing. I mean, it doesn't affect I mean, and we're evangelical Baptists, right? So like it doesn't affect whether we're going to heaven or not. But I think in some faiths or denominations, rather, it is like a thing that a priest needs to do.
All right.
In order
to pass on.
And I don't know enough about it to talk knowledgeably, but it's something that happens a lot in hospitals. I think it's like a final blessing as you die.
So Bajota? Yes.
Bajota? Yep.
He's a fighter.
He's a fighter.
I'm so proud of him.
Yep. And so he's going back. He went back already to Poland. His co-pilot came, picked him up. They went back home. But he says he's going to do it again.
Okay.
He's not, get kicked off the horse, you get back on it.
Wow.
Yep.
That's pretty impressive. Now, but this is a race, you said, right?
It was. Yeah.
So where's there's a start and a finish.
See, that's the thing I don't know about hot air balloon races. Like, you don't predict where you go.
Well, I think you do.
No, there's no steering.
No, there is. Because you just talked about the wind currents. Haven't you seen Moana?
I think that's different.
No, they read the waves and the wind and the sun. And
You're getting all your science based from Moana. That's how you're determining.
I just feel like we can learn a lot from this.
But a sail is manipulatable. You can't manipulate a hot air balloon. I went on one in Longview, and he was saying that the higher you go, you turn more right, or the lower you turn more left. I forget exactly how that goes, but we also landed in the parking lot of a movie theater. We had no idea where we were going to land.
No,
we didn't. No, like the crew was following us in a car.
Okay.
There they are. Follow them. Turn west.
Yeah.
They were. So I don't know how you do these cross-country ones. Someone needs to write in and tell us.
Okay.
All right. So next segment. Thank you for doing that. You did good. You did good. Yeah.
Well, thank you.
You're a great news story. This is our Texas Music Minute. So this segment, we bring to y'all a new music, a new artist, or somebody who is from the Lone Star State and something you might want to listen to. So it's kind of a break in the podcast from all the yapping. And this time I'm bringing us a new song, a new album by Kyle Park. So Kyle Park, Texas country singer. He's a friend of the show. Mm-hmm. This is his first album in 6 years. It's called All Nighter. Kyle Park, he's had some big hits. We played Leaving Stephenville in one of our episodes when we were, you want to guess?
Oh, goodness. Don't make me.
The song's called Leaving Stephenville. What were we doing when we played that song?
Just leaving Stephenville.
Correct. It was supposed to be a very easy question.
I'm sorry. Here's where my brain was. You said his name, and he's an incredible artist, and his wife is Precious. They had a baby. So when you said it's been 6 years, I'm like, they have been busy raising that baby.
They had a couple babies,
and
yeah.
Congratulations.
Yeah. Him and his wife actually own a winery in the hill country called Cross Mountain Vineyards.
Yes.
Yep. It's pretty cool. They import Italian wines and bring them into the hill country. Mm-hmm. So check them out. But Kyle, let me give you a little bio. Kyle was born in Austin. Oh, come on. They had, let's see. I've lost it. Well, what was my point?
Song? Did they use one
we used the song. We're not playing Leaving Stephenville. We're playing a new song called Hill Country Home.
Yep.
But Kyle is from Austin. Let me give you a little bio. He self-released his first album in 2005. He's been working and touring as a musician ever since. He sells out venues across Texas, but he's opened for George the King, Clint Black, Willie Nelson. And, of course, he has a giant following all his own. And this is his new song from his new album. The album is called All Nighters. And this song is called Hill Country Home. Are we ready? Let's give it a listen.
I was born and raised in Texas, in a little hill country home. Grew up on the Guadalupe River, just north of San Antone. Way out in the middle of nowhere, down an old red gravel road. The same house Granddaddy lived in till he was 98 years old. And from where I stand, this piece of land is all I've ever known. And for what it's worth, my heaven on earth is this hill country home. hill country home. I've been west of Midland, working on an old pipeline. I spent time down in Corpus
That was
Christi.
so nice.
It's good.
Yes.
It's a good little nostalgic tune about, hill country home. I like how he says on the Guadalupe. He didn't say Guadalupe River. So, you're like, oh, the Guadalupe? Yeah, that's proof that he actually grew up there.
Yep.
The Guadalupe.
Here's your sign.
Here's your sign. All right, y'all go listen to Kyle Park. All Nighters is a great album. I gave it a listen through, and it might be his best one yet. He's got some good tunes on there. All right, let's jump in. Questions from the back seat.
Sit down.
Are we there yet?
Hey, can you pass me the snacks?
When are we gonna stop? I gotta go.
Dun-dun. All right, this is where we've got viewers writing questions. So if you have a question, leave a comment on this podcast or just send it to contact@thedaytripper.com. I picked a couple questions. There's some fun ones. This comes from Marika Crown. What are the best Central Texas Jeep trails? Jeep trails in Central Texas. So you don't have to drive a Jeep. You could drive a Don Hewlett Chevrolet. Sorry.
That's right.
Shameless plug. But no, there's great Jeep trails for off-road trails.
Yeah.
One is called Hidden Falls Adventure Park. It is outside of Marble Falls.
Mm-hmm.
And it's incredible. Multiple acres. They got water, mountains. It's awesome. There's some outside of Mason that are really cool if you want to go climb the granite. And then this is a new one that has just popped up. It's called the Bronco Off Rodeo.
Like it.
I told you about this one because I want to go and do this one. But you don't bring your own vehicle to this one. They have a whole bunch of Ford Broncos. You load them up and you go out and climb over basically mini versions of Enchanted Rock. It's pretty cool.
Where'd you say that one is?
That one is in Horseshoe Bay. So outside of Marble Falls again.
Yeah, so
Yep.
3 solid choices
There you go. Yep. So go check it out. If you do it, send us pictures.
Yeah.
All right, here we go. We had 2 questions come in. What are the absolute best kolaches? And then Jim Schreiner added some. He said, no, who has the best kolaches in Texas? And I'm not talking about pigs in a blanket, the real kolaches.
Right, because we've learned over, being Mr. and Mrs. Daytripper that there's kolaches and then there's koblasnickies.
There you go.
I hope I'm saying that correctly.
Yes.
Yes. So, what do you think?
Well, I think people do need to be educated. So here we go. There's a lot of people out there who call kolaches anything with bread that you eat for breakfast, and that's just not true. All right, a kolache is a very specific Czech pastry.
That's what we've learned.
Yes, that's what we've learned. It is circular in size, and it's got fruit in the middle. That's a kolache.
Not meat.
Not meat. Now, people are getting fancy with them, and they're adding meat in the middle or whatever.
And they're delicious.
I think if it's circular and it's got a little swimming pool for deliciousness in the middle, that's a kolache.
Okay, that seems clear in my head. I do have a funny memory of the kids coming home and saying, Mom, we need to sign up for this, this breakfast sign-up sheet. And so we all signed up. I think we brought orange juice. We show up to the breakfast, and one of our kids, who was young, but they were like, I thought you said there were going to be kolaches here, and these are not. These are koblasnickies. And I was like, look, that's fine, but don't be rude.
Don't be rude. Yeah, our kids.
Not what that is.
That is not a kolache. A kolache. Yeah, don't be that kid at the party.
Yes, don't.
Because okay, the people typically call pigs in a blanket kolaches. They are not. So don't be the snooty kid at the breakfast.
Those are pigs in the blanket.
They're pigs in a blanket. Or klobasniks.
Yeah.
Klobasniks, or klobasnickies. I don't know. One of those is plural, one of those is not. I'm not Czech. But
either way, where are the best ones?
Okay. I've got a personal pit stop that I make. I made it yesterday, actually.
You did. I know what your answer is.
So West is famous for its kolaches. It is a highway stop on I-35.
I have to clarify, West Texas or West, Texas?
There you go. West, Texas. Not to be confused with West Texas.
So there is a town in Texas, if you haven't discovered it, and it's called West.
West, Texas. Not West Texas.
It's so
I went down to West Texas. Oh, yeah. Where'd you go? Midland or Big Bend? Like, no, West, Texas.
And there's a very large Czech community there.
Uh-huh.
So they have been...
And forever, Czech Stop was that was the name in the game.
Yeah.
Like, you stopped at Czech Stop. Now there's a Slovaceks on the other side, and it's good. So that's southbound. But those that know that a couple blocks in from the highway, there's this little bakery that's in the corner of a pizza joint called Giddings.
Yep. And they come in the cutest little pink boxes. I just have to point
That's
out.
why I eat
it's
there. I eat
kind
there
of
for the
like
pink boxes.
It is, but it isn't. So like Tiffany's has like the cute little blue box with the white ribbons. Like if Chet's been on the road and he walks in with the large pink box, I'm like, you went to Garrett's.
Yeah.
Like, it's awesome.
Yeah, I think you sit at home like pink boxes. I brought some home yesterday of some klobasniks and some, they make like the most insane cinnamon rolls ever. And I got like some twists.
They're really fun. There's a lot of fun flavors.
So good.
It's worth a stop.
So that is my favorite kolaches. Even just the fruit ones with the hole in the middle. Of course, like Rushka's and Ellinger needs to be called out. Weichels and LaGrange needs to be called out. Those are my faves. Yeah. Solid choices. Oh, Country Bakery in Schulenburg, also solid. But here's what everybody needs to know: quit calling pigs in a blanket kolaches. That's just you only give yourself up when you do that you don't know. All right, last question. This is going to be one of your favorites, Laura.
Oh.
What part of Texas reports the most Bigfoot sightings?
Oh, I mean, do you just want me to guess?
Yeah, well, I want you to talk about your affinity for Bigfoot and how much you love Bigfoot.
Okay. No, so who has the most sightings?
Yeah, what part of Texas has the most Bigfoot sightings?
Well, I'm just going to guess that it's, like Southeast Texas. I mean, that's where I'm from, and I know the Big Thicket. I feel like there's, I don't know if I'm right.
Bigfoot.
Yes,
okay.
It just makes sense.
So it's a blanket statement, East Texas.
Is it?
Without a doubt. East Texas.
I went Southeast, but no, the pine trees, maybe a place that
Bigfoot's got a place to hide.
He likes to hide.
He can hunker down in the needles. Because you can't exactly, Bigfoot's not going to hide behind a prickly pear cactus or a tumbleweed.
Yeah, that's a good point.
He's got to have places to hide.
Yeah, I mean, I could see that.
So by the numbers, and I found a great map that was on the BeaumontEnterprise.com of look at all the Bigfoot sightings. See our concentration, East Texas. Now, what I am most surprised of is that there are sightings in Lubbock.
Oh,
I know.
okay.
So, just out there on that open prairie doing his thing. But like clearly East Texas. Caddo Lake is called like the land of Bigfoot.
It's kind of spooky and eerie with
super eerie.
A lot of fog and I could see that.
That they hold in Jefferson, which is right outside of Caddo Lake, the Texas Bigfoot Conference. And I'm telling you now, I got us tickets for our anniversary. So you're welcome.
That is just a neat thing to spend your time with. I just will say that there's so many things going on in the world and needs, and I think go to a Bigfoot. I mean, I know you're joking, but I think you're joking.
Well, yeah, maybe.
But that
of course. Why would anyone buy their wife Bigfoot tickets? I mean, I didn't.
Maybe they really saw something, and they just need to talk to people of their kind.
I think I don't know how to categorize this. We're going to actually do a special podcast episode with the director of the Texas Bigfoot Conference.
Nice.
He wants to be on the show.
It's great.
And we're going to get to the bottom of this.
Yes.
I mean, do you believe in Bigfoot? Yes or no?
I do not.
Okay, there it is.
But I don't bend towards those things.
True. Sure.
Things.
Bigfoot, chupacabra.
Yep. I like to stay in my lane.
The swamp thing, whatever. All right.
Yeah.
Oh, that's too much fun. Laura hates Bigfoot. All right. She really does. And anytime I bring it up, she goes, okay.
We're doing that again.
We're doing that? We're really going to talk about this again? Hey, I think if the world discovered there was a giant walking ape, that would be a big deal. And there's so many people who see something like, what is it? Mm-hmm. What are they seeing? I don't know.
If I saw something that I could not explain, I would want to find someone to help me understand what I saw.
Okay.
I have not seen anything like that.
Yeah, okay.
And I have traveled a good bit.
All right.
So there you go.
Yeah, that's true. You just haven't spent enough time at night walking around the woods by yourself.
Okay.
That should be your 2024 goal. All right, so we're leaving Bigfoot behind. Let's jump over into fan rants and musings.
Hey, Daytripper, I got a bone to pick with you. Oh my goodness, it's the Daytripper. We love your show.
All right, so this is people who just needed to write us in about something. So we got a couple people that are just so disappointed in the show.
Oh.
And I like these. I was incredibly disappointed when my husband showed me your Baytown episode. Admittedly, it was a long time ago, but I'm not retired enough to be watching TV all the time. I'm watching your Frisbee golf course in Kyle, but you don't even mention our water park. In Kyle?
Or in Baytown.
I don't know. I think she mentions Kyle, but she said you left Baytown, you went to LaPorte. That's not Baytown to see the now removed battleship. You just need to do more research and then go to Baytown again. I'm disappointed. That's how she signed, disappointed in you.
Aw.
I know. This is why I have emotional issues when I come home at night.
There's some passionate people in this world.
Passionate people. You know, we did leave Baytown.
Okay.
Because I wanted to feature the San Jacinto Monument, but LaPorte wasn't quite big enough for its own show. Plus, it wouldn't have given me an excuse to take the ferry over.
No, the ferry is a fun ad.
Ferry was pretty cool.
Very fun.
Anyway, I did it.
Yeah.
Not ashamed.
I mean, at the end of the day, you have, 26 minutes?
26 minutes and 46 seconds.
And 46 seconds.
Yeah.
So if there's reason to go revisit a place and see what they have out there, then let's go.
Let's go.
There's a lot of Texas to continue to explore, right?
That's true. And there might be a LaPorte episode at some point and a revisit to the battlefield. Yes. Maybe.
Yeah.
All right, here's someone else super disappointed with us. I started the Dripping Springs episode very hopeful, but then you went to Salt Lick. Dun, dun, dun. So overrated, so touristy, so commercial, so not good barbecue. I'm disappointed. We can still be friends, though. Come visit my new ice cream shop in Denton.
Well.
I don't know about that. You don't seem that nice.
Well, let's unpack Salt Lick for just a hot
That's
second.
what I wanted to do. Salt Lick.
Okay.
Overrated, tourist destination, both. What?
So
thoughts on Salt Lick?
Am I in a space to give my opinion?
You're in a safe place.
I'm in a
It's
safe place. Okay. So places that have been, they've been going strong. I don't know when it started. Maybe you have that information.
60s.
But one of the things that's amazing about Salt Lick, it's a place to gather with a large group of people. The times I think about going, for me at least, we have a big group of family or friends, or maybe we're like wrapping up like a tubing trip, and then our next stop is going to be, let's just gather around at a picnic table. That's, I don't know, like there's something about the space and the area. The barbecue specifically, I have had better barbecue.
Sure.
Better sides.
Better sauce.
Now, but I think about the Salt Lick also, it's one of those places that's the family sides, right?
Totally.
We're going to be at the family
barbecue if you get the all you can eat.
So there's something fun about that. And there's
100%.
You gather your people. We all have like ribs and sauce on your face. It's just like it's super
BYOB,
casual.
so you got your cooler. Like it's just so much fun.
It's the environment, right?
Yeah.
So I can ignore maybe the less ratings on the food, but the atmosphere is so
It's
high.
top notch.
Yeah.
And yeah, touristy now, but like, you know, when we discovered Salt Lick, it wasn't. It was a destination just because you had to drive so far to get to it, but not, I wouldn't say touristy. It was an iconic Austin type of place. And maybe now it feels like it's just sort of like on a postcard, you know, about what is pretending to be Austin, but it's not. Salt Lake's legit. Salt Lake's real hill country to me.
Yeah, I would have never said it was Austin. I would say if you're visiting Austin, it's worth the drive to go out to
Salt Lake.
Yeah.
Yeah. I love Salt Lake for all the reasons you just said.
Yeah.
Family, the sides, the pit when you walk in. It's great.
Yeah.
And there are some things like, is the Alamo touristy? Absolutely. Is it still awesome? Absolutely. So you just got to Schlitterbahn. Is Schlitterbahn touristy? Yes. But is it awesome? Yes. So that's kind of where I fall on Salt Lake.
I'm sorry if you're disappointed, but we do want to try out your ice cream place. Let us know.
I mean, we like ice cream.
We do.
We do.
Denton, huh?
All right. This one's a fun one. We're going to end on a good one. Hey, we headed to Big Bend and Alpine last week based on your episodes, and the trip was incredible. We have profound gratitude for you and the team. You inspired us to trek up to the desk, to go up the Chisos Mountains, to eat dinner at the Riata Steakhouse, and thank you. As an aside, I think you would dig this story. After seminary in 2006, I trained as a chaplain in San Antonio, but I needed extra money, so I started a night gig running security at the Cowboys Dance Hall. It was such a great need, a change to the intensity of the day. I was a chaplain by day and a bouncer by night.
Wow.
Who'd think that anything could be possible only in Texas? Michael Lee. I thought that was fun.
That is fun.
The bouncer chaplain.
That's
Drop the fist or the word on you. Whatever
Both.
you need. Both. It's like, listen, I'm not going to let you in the club, but let's go over and talk about your life choices.
That would be me.
You would.
I would.
I would.
Why are you here?
Why are you here? You don't seem like you're doing well. Let's talk about that.
I probably would.
Oh,
I don't
you would
know.
love that job for that reason. This
Yes,
this
I do.
woman here, she really needs some counseling. She needs Jesus. Let's go talk about why she's coming to Cowboys Dance Hall on a Tuesday night.
Yep. And I might comment on some of their clothing options
Maybe.
and maybe make suggestions.
Maybe. Oh my gosh. All right, we're going to end on that. That's too much fun. All right. Thank you, Laura, for joining me on
Thank
the
you
couch
for
on the
having me.
podcast.
Thanks.
Shout out to Alex Fort over here mixing it up at the table. We're eventually going to put a camera and a mic on Alex so that he can chime in. I think that would be fun.
Pretty cool dude.
He's a very cool dude. Shout out to our sponsor, Collin County. Y'all, please go and see this museum. It's incredible. It's in the old post office in downtown McKinney, and I know you'll love it. And as always, we will see you next time. Laura, you say bye first, and then I finish with my little tagline.
Bye, Daytrippers. Have a great day.
Yeah, and bye con Dios, amigos.